The Bushy and Bobo Show, a healthy scratch podcast. Here's your hosts, Kyle Busch and Brian Rager.
Okay. Cheers. Episode 20 of the Bushy and Bobo Show, healthyscratch.ca. We got a little bit of a new setup because I got a new couch and we're going to use it, like, for sure. So
yeah, and pretty comfy.
Now, the Westbrook jersey, I mean, I know that's not really it's not really hockey, but we have a Zetterberg one right there, and
debating on
show everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. But like just debating on like, okay, how do we do this? Like how to set it up.
You take one off the wall, then you take the other one.
But the problem is I was saying, like, I don't think the hooks on those are in the right spot, and I don't really want to screw up the wall. So everybody just pretend that that's a hockey jersey.
Put a Microsoft Paint edit over there. Yeah. I'm pretty good at that. I've done that before.
This is like the rudimentary, like, first draft of this.
Testing the waters,
right? Because even like the sound, we're not really sure like how it's actually going to sound. So bear with us, but we're on the way up. We're in the rocket ship going up. We're upgrading everything.
We are. We've been sort of.
Well, because the thing is like whenever we do a pod where it's both of us, it's kind of hard to do because we always want to do like the green screen and it never works.
No, it gets
we never
super
have enough,
frustrating.
Yeah, we never have like the lighting proper. Like the screen isn't big enough. We'll go in the garage. It's echoey, like, so it just sounds terrible. So
yeah, it's ass. So
I said, you know what?
You
no
said,
spitting chicklets.
You said you have a list. That's kind of bushy, Boba. Bushy. Okay, you were saying.
I was saying.
You're saying.
I don't even know because now I'm really mad at you. Spitting chicklets does it with the couch, right? So I mean, why can't we do it? I mean, we'll just be the second podcast ever to be on a couch, right?
Oh yeah. No one else ever does that.
Oh, it's brand new. So it's been a couple weeks since we did the
2 weeks. Yeah.
You said we're almost drinking age in the States.
Yeah, we're almost drinking age in the States.
20 episodes deep.
20.
Yeah. Well, I was going to talk about the Red Wings a little bit. I know we got some people that like listening to my Red Wings stuff, and I haven't really done the YouTube video recently, but
no.
Just it's something where I think a lot of people understand like how the team is built. And at the beginning of the year, like it was really exciting and they were new and we got these new toys. We got, Lucas Raymond, Moritz Seider.
Yeah, you have to actually get to see Seider play.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, Nedeljkovic and Mitch Stevens and Pius Suter, and there was a lot of new faces and a lot of old ones were gone.
Which I think like you want to see gone, right?
Yeah, we've talked about that at length, about how this is finally how I've envisioned it for a while.
That's a proper way to retool, rebuild your team.
And we've talked about how good Seider and Raymond have been. And now even like Nedeljkovic is in that conversation. I mean, he stole the game against the Blues the other night where like 35 saves, had like a save of the year candidate. I don't know if you saw that, but
I think I did.
One of these dives across the net, like glove save.
Yeah, I haven't been watching too much just because we'll get into it later. But
yeah. But the third round pick to get the guy, right?
Yeah.
I still don't understand. Like the Hurricanes have been doing really, really well. They have Freddie Anderson, and he's been dynamite.
Getting out of Toronto is the best thing to happen.
Yeah,
probably one of the best things to happen for him.
Actually, did you know that was? I think he set the record for first game played with a team that drafted him. Like how many days after he got drafted? Because he got picked by the Hurricanes way back and never played for them. And now finally is back there and playing
Toronto,
them. Yeah.
And now that was
I
didn't know that. That's Bushy's tidbit of the day.
Little tidbit of the day. So now like with the Wings, now they went through a little bit of a stretch where they weren't really winning. It was a little bit like, wow, we can't score a goal. But I think it was something where I didn't get too concerned about it because this is kind of what I expected anyway. I think the beginning of the year was really nice. It was like, wow, they're in a playoff spot. They're doing really, and they're still standings wise. They're kind of in the middle of that Atlantic division right now. I know Boston has a bunch of games in hand on them and they'll definitely jump them. But I mean, Ottawa, Buffalo and Montreal being under them, I expected that. We talked last time about how Montreal has been really bad and like they're missing some players. They're not that team that went to the finals right now, but
no.
I was looking at the one thing that I'm kind of concerned about, or not concerned, like Blashill and the Red Wings have said that they're looking at this more analytically, like they're looking at advanced stats, and they have like more of a department on that now, which I went cool because I enjoy that.
Yeah, that's the way the NHL is sort of going towards. It seems a lot more analytical,
right? And I not to like bring up Moneyball, but it's like finding value where maybe you can't see it. And looking at some of these statistics, like I screenshot this all the time. Like, and I'll shout out, it's called JFresh on Twitter. But there's a ton of this stuff where it gives you just little tidbits of information. Like, I was talking about, like, DeKeyser is playing with Seider right now. No, DeKeyser's out for COVID protocol. He's coming back. But at the beginning of the year, it was Nick Leddy with Seider.
Yeah.
And I think they wanted, like, now they're both veterans. DeKeyser and Leddy are probably around the same age. But they're totally different players. At the beginning of the year, Seider was playing with Leddy, and they were top 5, like a top 5 pair in terms of like expected goals for like just a lot of these advanced statistics that I'm still honestly learning about.
And then you take the,
but you find value and go like, how are these guys playing right now? So they obviously were working, and then they switched and put them with DeKeyser, which Seider's still playing really well despite Danny DeKeyser. And right now, Danny DeKeyser is turning into the Jonathan Ericsson for not just like me. I don't really, even when I watch him, I'm like, okay, he makes some good plays and stuff like that. He's definitely not Ericsson level bad, but a lot of a lot of Red Wings fans are trying to find that next like punching bag.
Yeah.
And it's him for sure.
And especially you're going to, Wings fans, I'm assuming you're going to want to get one of those guys in the Holland era.
Right.
That you want to use as a punching bag.
Right. Like his wins above replacement, DeKeyser is like 31%, which isn't good. It's bottom third. Ugh. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not good. And he's got 1 year left on the deal. It's not like he's going to be, he's not going to, I don't think he'll be here next year. And if they did, he's making like $1 million.
Yeah.
Like he's getting a huge pay cut.
It'll be a vet min contract.
Right. And it's like, do you want to do that? Or, do you want to move on? So,
or do you think you have a chance to sign with somewhere, like say, sign somewhere and still be
he's a Detroit guy,
productive guy.
And that's the cool thing is like, I remember when they got him, I was excited because he played for Western Michigan. I remember watching him play. He was actually Luke Witkowski and him were on the same D pair.
Okay.
And like the Broncos were actually really good when he was there. And when they signed him, I'm like, oh, sweet. They never get players like this out of the NCAA. And like for him to be like an NHL defenseman still is cool, but it's not one of those things where I see him as part of like, hey, let's keep him around. I'd rather keep Mark Stahl at this point than Danny DeKeyser. Gun to my head, which one do you want to keep?
And that was a guy you said, I believe at the beginning of the year, you're like, you know what, fuck, why are they going to bring Stahl back? He did his thing. Like,
but they gave him a pay cut. It's 1 year, $2 million. Like, I guess he's good in the locker room. He's got an A on his jersey. So does DeKeyser, but
that's it. You would want DeKeyser. If DeKeyser comes back, that's it. You want to have him at that $1 million, $2 million max range.
Right. So it's been interesting. I think we're going to see some players that we haven't seen yet because I think Veleno's been up. I mean, he was good at the beginning. Right now, I think he kind of cooled off, but he's playing like fourth line minutes. Mitch Stevens got hurt, which sucks because he was solid on the fourth line, like face-offs, penalty kill, a lot of energy for a young guy. And I mean, I really like the way he was playing, but I think we're going to see guys like Jonathan Berggren come up because he's been crushing it in Grand Rapids right now.
Or do you think Detroit goes the road of, I know they released Bobby Ryan from that PTO. Did he ever sign with anyone? Would you think he would ever come back to Detroit on that?
No, he would, but I don't think there's a reason because
not to play that fourth line or
like you'd be basically putting him on your third line. And right now, I think there's guys you can put there
from Grand Rapids.
Yeah, sure, like that you can put in. Like I would call it Berggren and be like, hey, you want to let's play him on the third line, shelter him for a few games. Like he's not going to stick. It's just injuries, right?
Yeah, the only reason I say it's something like that is just you have say Berggren come up and say just like I said, he's going to be sheltered. He's not going to be playing the exact same role he is in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, the other problem that you're going to run into is when Vrana comes back because he's out and he's probably only going to be back in. They were looking at will he play for the Czech Republic, like for the Olympics?
Yeah.
If he's available, he will, right? But when he comes back, he's immediately top six. He's a top line guy. But now you're in a position,
the shuffling,
right? Who gets knocked down, and then it's like, well, if you have Bobby Ryan, it's like we don't really need him. So I understand why they didn't sign him.
Yeah, I just thought of it like because I didn't know if he signed anywhere else. I don't believe he did. And
the only thing that I feel like is it's one of these ups and downs of the season. Like the beginning of the season was a little bit of like it was fun.
Yeah.
But then we got to a point where I was like, okay, this is kind of what they are, because there's a few things. They lost to Arizona 2-1 in overtime. Good teams don't lose that game. Arizona is really, really bad. They are clearly, and we'll talk about tanking in a second, but they are tanking. Like they don't even have a goalie. Like they claim Scott Wedgwood. I mean, he was like the third goalie for the Devils, right? So losing that game, that's a rebuilding team. Zach Fucale got a shutout in his first NHL game against the Red Wings. That can't happen. If you're a good team, you look at that, you're looking at your chops, and you're going to score 5 on them.
Yeah, like, you're ready to, like I said, put up 5. Right. You're making that goalie cry.
Just like the Canucks. I don't know if you want to go into length about what's going on with Vancouver right now.
It's just an absolute shit show. Like
what were your expectations going in?
I was expecting playoff, like they're making the playoffs this year and making a first round, like making a competitive first round, hopefully get in that second. Like I didn't expect the conference final, I expected like not a wild card spot or whatever they call it. Maybe that third, eyeing for that second spot in the division. Absolutely stupid. Like we can't, like our goaltending is fucking atrocious. Like, okay, Thatcher Demko, this is your year to be the guy. And
it hasn't worked.
No.
Right now it hasn't worked.
No, it hasn't worked yet. Yaroslav Halak, okay, I'm like, you know what? That's a good backup, but the guy's like 57 years old.
Hey, Matt Murray got waived. You want him?
No. Fucking, he was supposed to be Ottawa's guy. Well, Matt Murray's going to be our guy, and then you just put him on waivers? No. And he's not going to get claimed because he's poo. Ottawa's poo. Then you make the deal there for Ekman Larson, which I'm glad because you get fucking what's his face, Louis Eriksson off.
You get him out of here.
He's gone. Thank God, because that was the stupidest signing. And then, but he hasn't like. Then you see Ekman Larson come into camp, like you showed the video of him bag skating it pretty much.
I know.
The guy looks like he has fucking cinder blocks on his feet. And we can't score. Like JT Miller said, 2 games ago or something. Like, well, we don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, what the hell is going on?
I think it was when it was like during a practice. He literally yelled at Travis Green, like they fucked up a drill, and he was like, "We don't know what we're doing."
Like, and I was excited for Travis Green to be a coach because he had success in Utica with the Comets there.
So, like I was telling you about the goaltending. So, like Thatcher Demko is 4th last in the league in like it's goals saved above expected per 60. So like
the guy
what
can't
you're
stop
supposed to do, and he can't. Right. Okay, but what's the problem?
Young.
Because they have all this firepower allegedly.
Yes, it's
right. Their goals, they're what, -21 goal differential.
It's when it comes down to it, it's easy to say like, oh, the players should be knowing their job and stepping up, but. And the management is trying to get the right pieces, but I don't think I don't think Benning is.
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to say that, about management, but you just said you expected them to make the playoffs. So how is that his problem?
It's not
whether the right?
Like whether it's, he has to look at I think it's a combination of everything. I think it's a whirlwind. Like on paper at the beginning of the year, if you like I said, I think Vancouver is supposed to make at the most second round. They're not. Is it a coaching issue? Probably, because like if Miller's in practice saying we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
I'm looking at some of these guys quick stats. Look, I mean, JT Miller's doing really well. Point per game. Hughes has been Quinn Hughes. I think some teams have kind of figured him out a little bit.
But there's Elias Pettersson. He's
I know, but like Connor Garland is a good pickup in that trade too.
Yes.
But yeah, now you got Horvat and Peterson. They're at both 11 and 10 points.
And Besser,
Besser's only got 8 points.
He's been hurt
games, -7. But like, I don't really like plus minus. But on a team where like he's lowest on plus minus -7. Ekman Larson 4 points. Podkolzin 4 goals, 1 assist, and he's a rookie, right?
Yeah, Podkolzin. I don't expect.
Tanner Pearson has 2 goals.
It's,
but you don't have a lot of depth, is what I'm seeing.
No.
Here. So
After
if
the
you're
top
line,
six,
you're dinked if you don't score. If your
top
top six doesn't score.
It doesn't score. We're fucked.
Right.
Yeah, a guy Tyler Myers too, like fucking just an absolute bomb.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I know we're ripping the Canucks right now, but if you
I don't even watch them, like not just because of the time, but just it's an embarrassment to watch.
Well,
like,
okay, here's my
fucking
hypothetical
Chicago's 4-1, like Columbus, you got
right. Here's my hypothetical to you. I'm going to give you two scenarios. Okay, so if you're the GM, is there something that you would do right now, or is it something where you stand pat, you wait?
I'm firing Travis Green.
Really?
And the reason I'm saying that with confidence, is because of what happened at practice. If your players in practice don't know what the fuck is going on,
why now though? Like why all of a sudden? Because they were, he's a good coach. I thought, going the past few years. So what the hell happened this year? Is he lost the room, or is it just the players, or is it? I
think once you get down into a losing streak, into a funk, you're gonna lose. Like you said, players aren't gonna dog it just a tank.
Right.
Allegedly.
Right.
I think there's only so much that a player can do, and then a coach, if he's not going to adapt and change his style to meet.
Okay, so if you're Travis Green, what do? You have to change something.
You do.
What if he is already, right? Now, I said you're not watching every single game.
No.
But I mean, it's something where you have to figure out, like, how do I get these guys in a situation where I can, make them be successful? Because. And not to keep going back to the Wings, but like that's my team. Like their power play changed dramatically when Alex Tanguay came in, and now he's the offensive coach.
Yeah.
Right. So is it something where you can go like, all right, this isn't working?
You make a coaching change somewhere, whether it's Travis Green himself or whoever is trying to,
or it's a tactical thing.
Or you look at your assistants and see I don't know who the fuck are our assistants.
Or it's one of those things where maybe you look at it and go, we're doing everything we need to do. And that's the thing as a GM. I think you have to really look at it and go, my coach is doing everything possible. Like I gave him the players. He's doing everything that I feel like he should be doing anyway. Maybe they're on the same page and these players are just not doing what they need to do. But that's where maybe you go, we're going to shake this up.
Maybe you do make a big thing, but like, I think it's somewhat like it's a coaching thing.
And like some of these guys are young, like Peterson is still young. Hughes is still young. Besser is still what? 24 or something.
Same with
Horvat's a 25-year-old.
And that's the one thing that's in the back of my mind. That's okay. You know what? These guys are starting to enter should be their prime years. So is it this year is just a one-off? I don't think it's necessarily a one-off.
Do you have to find ways to make it more fun? Do you have to find? I know it's like something where it's your job, like you're making millions to play hockey, but it should be fun. Like you can see that, especially and it's in certain teams if they're having a good time. I know even the Wings, like they look like they're having more fun this year. They're keeping it light. They're joking around, but like I feel like they got to really figure out what's going on, because if that's a management thing, because I think you can argue every single thing. I think you can argue that they don't have the right players. You can argue that maybe the coaching isn't doing what it's supposed to do, and you can argue that the players aren't doing what they're supposed to do. It could be in all three.
It could, and I think it is. Like I know the one thing at the beginning of the year was with their goaltending coach. Like I'm bringing up all their coaches here.
Yeah.
Ian Clark, that was one guy they wanted to get re-signed for this year
because of Demko, right?
Yes, because of Demko. So I don't necessarily think because
I don't think you can just pin it on like
on a certain coach or no. He's a young. This is his first time being a starter.
If they're looking that bad, that's like a tactical thing that might have to be changed. That's what I would try first, and I guarantee you they're already doing it. They're professional coaches.
They got to be, and I think you got to look like you said if you're going,
and then you can only do so much line blender.
No, and if this year is going to be, like a dumpster fire, like it is, like Seattle has a game in hand on us, and we're only 1 point ahead of them. So Seattle, like if they win their next, they're
right, but so what about? Do they have any guys like
expendable
coming up? No. Like coming up with like young guys you can throw in there to hey they're hungry, let's throw them in.
No, like people say Jet Wu and all that, or
no, but you need score
or Chatfield or whatever. But it's like I don't think there's not necessarily
they don't have some young gun coming up. It was Podkolzin.
It was Podkolzin, yeah, and I don't think there's.
Do you send him down now, just to get him out of here? Like Montreal,
Abbotsford's not doing any better.
They're not.
Abbotsford's second last in their division.
Right.
And I know like
So you're not losing atmosphere either way.
No, and DiPietro, like he hasn't played the best this year, and he's been out for a few games or whatnot. And I know a lot of Canucks fans, like third round, especially like here in, not necessarily the Canucks fans, but here in Windsor, like Spitfire fans, they're all like, "Oh, Michael DiPietro." Yeah. No, it's because if he's not having the success in Abbotsford right now, why would you bring him up just to sit bench or get?
If he's coming up, he's going to start.
Yeah, so you don't want to bring him up, and
but also it's like, Demko's getting shelled.
Yeah,
you're not going to get shelled too. You have to change something else.
If Vancouver is in this same area where they're at near the deadline, like I think you look at moving guys like Halak to a contender.
Well, as a backup, yeah, but that's not going to do a whole lot.
No, but you try to do you try to not necessarily?
Well, you got some time. You got some time. I wouldn't do anything now.
I would go
you figure it out.
I think there's got to be not necessarily if they're going to pull the trigger on a. Like if
Travis Green's going to be the fall guy no matter what.
He is.
Just because even if Jim Benning didn't get the proper players, again, you can argue that. You can just he's not coaching the players properly.
You had the chance in Rogers Arena, fire Benning. You have people bringing in signs, fire Benning. Well, right. Finn, you're the best at winning. And then it got collapsed and it fired Benning. If you haven't seen it, great. Look it up. It's hilarious. It's a shitty ass drawn whale on there. You're getting the chance there. As a fan, it's very frustrating. Especially because you have this talent on your top six. Like I said, depth. Maybe it is because there is no depth. It's Travis Green is going to be the fall guy. And if nothing else happens after that, then you're going to see Benning gone.
Right. Now, you did bring up Seattle. You did bring up goaltending.
Yes.
And you just wanted to kind of throw this in here because, again, I don't want to be clairvoyant, but I kind of did say, how many episodes ago about Philip Grubauer being in Seattle
at the expansion draft. You said
it was the expansion draft. I was like,
or right before you said it.
This might not be good because he went from a very good defensive Colorado team to an expansion team.
Yes,
as a Vezina finalist, and it goes to show you, and that's where the advanced statistics come in. And, again, we were talking about the expected goals saved and all that stuff. He is dead last in the league by a lot. Minus 1.2. The next highest is Fleury with minus 0.4. So he's been brutal. And people go, how do you go from, a Vezina Trophy finalist and I just said the Vezina winner is right below, is right by him. Well, it's insane. They both changed teams.
You look at Chicago for Fleury, and
Chicago's they don't have anything really going right now too. They're in that weird, hey, we're the Red Wings from 2016.
Yeah, you're holding on to the glory years of
move on
of their cups and stuff with Taves and Kane. Oh, they're still Kane obviously still super productive. Taves.
I feel like at one point you got to go. You know what? We're gonna trade him.
But
with Grubauer in Seattle, I feel like I saw that coming a mile away. Where I'm like, this is not gonna be.
You called that.
Well, it's different because Fleury went to Vegas, and it was hey, he's gonna win you games, and that's I think what they thought Grubauer would do. And I mean, you can really see it because now Colorado is kind of not so great either. It's you're rocking Darcy Kemper,
right?
They thought, they probably looked at it and went, hey.
We got defense.
Exactly. I think Grubauer is doing really well because we have a good team defense, but you can see he probably played a lot better than Kemper. But
do you think Colorado, depending on how things shape up, say they want to get a better starting goaltender? Do you think they make a thing for Fleury?
Do they have the cap space for that? I look it up. But
I don't know. I don't know the contracts, but do you think a guy because Fleury won the Vezina, he's proven he can still do it if he goes to a team like Colorado or a where they have defense,
right?
That would make a big that would make a big difference.
Oh, 100%. I think it would. I mean, looking at the expected goals saved,
he's an ass right now.
It's not that great, but totally different thing. You can only look at numbers so much. Where it'll give you a snapshot of what's happening.
Yeah.
But it's hard to be here's what's gonna that's the nice thing, and that's why I love the stats. Is it's definitely a cool little snapshot, but it doesn't really tell you here's what's going to happen in the future. You can definitely predict it, but he goes to a different team and it's a totally different atmosphere. Like, you don't know. There's so many intangibles. So it's like, I know that's a cop out, but yeah, I think he'd be better than Darcy Kemper, 100%. Yeah.
And I think it's just weird, like Grubauer going from Vezina finalist to
it's
absolute
odd.
dog.
It's odd. I mean,
and do you think Seattle tries to tank now? Like I was listening to
I think they don't have
Bar Down's podcast, like, oh, how Seattle tank? They're not doing anything this year.
They just keep playing and doing what they're doing. I don't know. I mean, like, that's a thing.
Or you let a bunch of guys walk.
About the tanking. Okay, Alan Walsh is he's a player agent. Okay.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this so many times, and I just got so fired up. I saw this tweet, and it had to do with tanking.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, he doesn't necessarily say it immediately, but he does. He says, why doesn't the NHL prioritize and incentivize winning as opposed to losing? Let's do a draft lottery for the top 16 teams in the standings as opposed to the bottom feeders. Keep regular season games furiously competitive to the very end with teams desperate to make the playoffs.
That's my blur to him. That's my blur to him.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. I get where he's coming from. I understand trying to prioritize winning. You don't have to. There's a Stanley Cup at the end of this.
That's if you're in the NHL, that should be your.
This guy's a player agent, so like he's implying that some of his players don't try and they tank. We've talked about how tanking isn't a thing in terms of a player or a coach. You don't try to lose. As a organization, the Arizona Coyotes are actively tanking. Like, they are bad. They don't have a goalie. They don't have
what are you talking about? They got Scotty Wedgwood.
Like, Jacob Chikrin's having like the worst year of his career. Like, there's no help. I mean, they got Phil Kessel and like,
and there's always the thing
about the corpse of Louis Eriksson, and that's all they have.
They said like Phil Kessel, he'll probably get traded and whatnot.
Sure.
And why wouldn't you?
Okay. Now, like, when he's saying, hey, we should have a lottery for the top 16.
No,
it makes no sense because
those top 16 are going for the cup.
How are the bottom teams supposed to get better? We've talked about that before. That's why this is how the league is. This is how the league is built. Is if you're at the bottom, you need help. And if you're at the bottom, who's going to sign with Arizona? No one.
No one.
You can throw as much money at somebody as you want. They're not coming. You're not going to just get the top free agent to come there just because of money. They're going to look at your team and go, there's no way. For you,
I'm going to say, Bushy, you're an NHL player in this situation.
Okay.
I'll give you
Am I any good?
You're average.
Okay.
You're offered 2 contracts.
Third line, 28 points.
You're offered 2 contracts here. Arizona, where you're going to be going up and down between the
How
second.
How much am I making?
We'll give you fucking $10 million a year.
No. I got 28 points. How much are you paying me? Give me an actual contract. Let's do this. You want to give me a hypothetical? Let's go.
Okay, like we'll give you.
How old am I? I'm 31.
You're 31. Okay, I'll give you a.
This is my first free agency ever, by the way.
I'm gonna give you a 3-year contract.
Okay.
And
for Arizona?
Yep.
3 years.
3 years.
3.5 mil.
No, I'm Arizona. I want to try to get you here.
Okay.
I don't know why. We love you.
We're stupid.
We're gonna give you $5 million a year.
All right.
3 year, $15 million.
Okay.
Brandon, you're gonna be fluctuating between the second and third line depending on how things go. Or I'm gonna give you another team here that you absolutely despise.
Okay, who?
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
You're gonna be playing that third line. 3-year deal. But we're gonna give you around that 3.5 a year, $3 million a year.
You lost me here. Okay. Now here's the thing, because I look at now we're gonna get totally.
You're going to Pittsburgh, a contending team.
Pittsburgh's not contending.
Okay.
They stink.
They're
gonna get shit. They're gonna be shit in 2 years.
Okay, we'll say.
Give me a team that's good.
Who is good right now? Calgary's good right now.
Yeah, Calgary. They offer me like a 1-year deal for like $2 million.
Yeah, 1 year, $2 million.
I mean, I don't know. I might go to win, but it depends if I want to make some money, I guess. But like, if I'm a top,
you're not a top. You're
no. If I'm a top free agent, I'm not going to Arizona. So if I got 70 something points and I'm looking for a big deal, I'm not going to Arizona.
No, you'd rather take that short term deal, like that 1 year contract.
Yeah, you're doing the
winner, and
yeah, that's the same thing.
And you'll lose, and you'll sign with the winner next year.
So yeah, so it's something where like how are the best teams supposed to get better? Well, the draft, right? And I mean, you have to hit on your players, and like right now, you can argue that like who won the draft lottery for the Lafreniere draft?
Yeah,
the Rangers. Yeah, but who technically won it so far? Detroit. They had the best player so far. I mean, so like
even look at the Rangers too.
You have to get the top pick, and you have to, or one of the top 5.
You look at the Rangers though. Like you said, Lafreniere, he hasn't been anything special.
Not yet.
And even
but the Rangers, yeah, but they put him up. They probably weren't ready to go yet.
True.
Right?
But so
think about Lafreniere went from playing junior to the NHL. It's a huge jump.
Yeah.
Raymond went from playing professional hockey in Sweden to this.
And so yeah, same with Sider. He played
he played in the Swedish too
in Europe. And
so yeah, I mean, maybe Lafreniere should have been in the AHL too. And that, in my opinion, with the Rangers, it's a total organizational failure to notice who are we building around here. Is it Mika Zibanejad or is it this kid? Like, because now he's just going to be like an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, you're also here. It's like,
and you're the number 1 pick,
but Alan Walsh needs to think about, wait a minute, why were we just going to keep making the best teams better? How are the worst teams supposed to get better?
You want to make super teams? Like, it seems like he just wants to see super
almost
teams.
Right. And I mean, as an agent, that's kind of what you would want. But like, you have players on every team probably. Like, he's a big time agent, so like, I feel like those comments about the lottery always bother me, because it's like, you can't just incentivize a team to win more. Like the whole thing about, we should do points after you're eliminated.
So Buffalo,
they can't win anyway.
So Buffalo then never gets better. They just stay a dumpster fire. No one's going to go there because they don't want to sign with the losing organization.
Do you think Arizona is going to be incentivized by, we can get the first pick, let's win more games? It's like, we just can't. We're not good. Like,
they have not. Like you said, they have Phil Kessel, who's just too busy eating fucking hot dogs when he's not playing hockey, and they have the corpse of Eriksson. Like, it's how they can't win.
So this whole incentivizing, you know, incentivizing winning is easy because like these players are trying to win a Stanley Cup.
So you're incentivizing owners, like I said, players aren't tanking.
Players and coaches aren't tanking.
Don't tank.
Do you think Travis Green wants to be losing right now?
No, absolutely not.
But do you think Arizona? Do you think, like, I forget what their GM's name is, but like, do you think he's kind of like, well, it is what it is for now, right? Like, let's get one of the top picks and we'll move on and like reload here.
Yeah,
like that's fine. And again, that's why there's a lottery. I guess like it's one of those things where you're still going to get a top pick. So I think that it's something that OV, hey, shut up, hey, damn dog. It's something where I feel like he's just a little out of touch with what's actually happening there.
So players
and how the only way that these bad teams are going to get better is through the draft. And I mean, hey, if you have a good GM, you can make some trades like Yzerman made Bill Rose for Robbie Fabry, a 3rd round pick for Alex Nedeljkovic. Like, there's some moves you can make that are pretty shrewd where you can find some value and go, hey, I just sped this up a little bit. Like, I found somebody. But not every GM is like that.
No, then you still got the guys like Kenny. Like, I know he's our human.
I mean, Edmonton's been pretty damn good this year. But how's that going to keep going?
But
yeah,
speaking of Edmonton
with McDavid is unreal, and so
best player in the league and all that.
Right.
And
so John Tortorella, he made some comments about McDavid and how he's going to have to change his game, to win in the playoffs. If they want to win a cup, like he's going to have to change his game. And I just feel like, that's the thing is, Torts has a Stanley Cup. He's been in the playoffs. He's done all this stuff. And in my opinion, like, he's a good coach.
I like Tortorella when he was in Vancouver.
I think he knows what he's doing here. Like, I feel like
you know what he's doing? That's all he's doing, just stirring the pot.
If he had McDavid on his team, he's not changing shit.
No.
You keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, you're crushing it. The other players on the team have to support. I don't think McDavid going and like blocking shots is gonna do anything. And
do you really want your superstar to be in the way of that? Yeah. Next thing you know, he's injured.
And what's interesting is I had the same exact thought, and I listened to Spit and Chicklets. Yeah. And Ryan Whitney said the exact same thing that I was thinking, because people are like, "Well, Steve Yzerman changed, his whole game," and it's like, he was more defensive minded, but he could do that because he said he had Fedorov, Shanahan, Lidstrom, the Russian Five, all these guys, Larry Murphy.
And Yzerman wasn't necessarily the player that McDavid was.
Sure he was. He was scoring 155 points a year.
He's not. Well, yeah, but then you said at least he has that.
He's
support.
bagging 100 a year. Like, of course, he was an offensive phenom, dude.
But
then he changed, and now he got 60 points, and they started winning more. But it's because the supporting cast
and
helped him.
Who is McDavid's support cast?
He doesn't have a lot. He's got Draisaitl, and like kind of that's it, right? So,
if someone says Darnell Nurse, no, he's not.
He's a defense. He's your defenseman. But I'm talking just in terms of like,
offense. Yeah, he can't necessarily.
I was gonna be like, I wanted to see if you were gonna get all like bent out of shape, but when you went like this, you're on the same page.
No, it's true. Torts is stirring the pot.
It's fun to talk about. He's a media personality.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
People like me and you talk about it.
Yeah,
he wins.
He definitely
you win, Torts.
You look at his things with Larry Brooks. You see all this.
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy.
You get that through your head.
You ever been in a fight? It's so funny.
Also, Tortorella, he's in media. He's a character. Like there's the coach Tortorella. There's the media guy Tortorella.
Yeah,
he's a smart. He's just starting to stir the pot there for Edmonton. And does McDavid need to change his style? No, it's
no.
You don't want your next. Okay, say McDavid does do it. Like I said, hypothetically, he's out there blocking shots. Yeah, he's out there. He's supposed to fucking score.
Yeah,
he's not supposed to be blocking the shots. And then the next thing you know, he's a shattered tibia. And
yeah, exactly. And I don't think that's what's gonna happen. But
no,
like, so now we were talking about like coaches. Like Torts was definitely a rough around the edges type coach, and we've talked at length in our like second or third episode about Mike Babcock and some of the things that some of these older coaches maybe being a little bit of out of touch with what's going on in the league.
Yeah.
And one guy that's been around forever is Rick Bowness. And he's with the Dallas Stars, like got him to the final, what was that, a couple of years ago? No,
it was 2 years ago.
The first Tampa Bay win. And he was actually a interim coach. Now he's their actual coach. Now, and I think a lot of people made a big deal about this. Riley Tufte, I think. So he's actually, I think he was a Minnesota native, and they were playing in Minnesota. He got called up to play in his first game. This dog can get out of here.
So yeah, you're playing in your hometown,
your first NHL game.
You want the family there. You want everyone.
He got all the tickets. He got his whole family there, and an hour before the game, he gets scratched. So I feel like it's kind of an asshole move.
I feel for the kid.
We don't. Now, here's what I immediately said, because like everybody is so quick to be like, oh, what an asshole. Rick Bowness is a friggin' asshole. My immediate reaction was they had a conversation.
Yeah.
100%. They talked, and probably was like, listen, I know we called you up. I know you got all these tickets to, but like you're not playing. Now, like, I don't know if that's how the conversation went. Rick Bowness did say we had a conversation. But the way that he was talking about it, I don't know if you saw his press conference or whatever. He seemed very nonchalant and kind of like, what's the big deal? I don't understand this. And it's like, really? You don't understand?
I get, like I said, you're playing in your hometown, your home state. You have your family there. Whether it was something, or we're gonna see how guys like do like in the pre, like not necessarily the warm-ups before the game, but like the morning skate or whatever. We're gonna see how so and so does.
Yeah, maybe it was something where it was kind of like, hey, maybe Riley Tufte knew that I might not be playing, but I'm gonna get all these tickets just in case. And you know what? At the very least, my family can be at the game.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know what? He's not playing. He's probably sitting there with his family in a suite.
I know it sucks, because that would suck. I know I would be super excited. It was like, oh, my first game. But again, we don't know what he was told. Because
that's the
my thing is, I look at Rick Bowness reacting like that, and I think like probably Riley Tufte knew like
there's a chance
I might not play, but this story comes out in the way that I think Bowness like reacted. People are like, oh my god,
what an asshole!
But I'm thinking there's got to be something, like there's a reason why, right? So
if the reaction is huge on it, if it's. People could say, like, oh, he's an asshole. But if there's a conversation between a player and a coach, the player knows there's a chance I'm not going to play. You know what? It's time for him. At least he's able to spend the time with the family.
Right.
He's able to, if he's not going to play, sit up with them, enjoy it.
So I think that's a lot of that stuff is so blown out of proportion. It's for clicks. It's for views. And again, it's from dummies like me and you to talk about. But that's the reality of the situation is we don't really know what goes on behind those closed doors. So like,
I think that's kind of how I feel about that.
And closed doors, clothes. You know what else has it? No, that's a piece of clothing.
That was the worst
transition
segue I've ever heard in my life. Let's talk about ugly jerseys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, that was horrible. I love it. Okay.
Only
Ugly jerseys. There's been 3. Okay. Let's talk about the Olympic ones first.
There's been 3 Olympic jerseys leaked already. Or not leaked.
4. Finland, Sweden.
Oh, I haven't seen Sweden's.
They're the usual ones.
Just the regular with the crowns.
Yeah, they look good.
The Finland ones I like.
Finland ones are the same.
Finland's are different.
Canada. Okay, here's what happened. Are they? Oh, yeah. I didn't even really look at those. Canada. So we're Canadian, obviously.
If you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Eh? How about
here for the beer,
City?
Here for the beer, eh?
Eh?
So Canada's, I don't like.
Looks like a fucking weed leaf on there.
No, you know what it looks like, and I don't understand why, but it looks like a puckered anus. It looks a little bit like a butthole, and like the lines come down.
I'm bringing up the Canada,
and look at that.
I can see it.
Look, it's a butthole. Look at this. Look at that. You can't see it. It's like for some reason there's lines going to the middle.
Logos
now I know that like that's how a maple leaf looks in real life. But not really, but they have like the veins in them. But it looks stupid.
So for me, like I'm looking at all 3 here.
That red looks off to me on the right.
The red, I think
like
that needs
orange almost.
I think it shouldn't be black. It should be white.
Right.
It should the black striping on the red jersey. It should be white. Like go the reverse of the white jersey.
Yeah.
Black is a third color for Canada.
Yeah, and I think like if you're gonna do the black jersey, just keep it on the third one. Your first 2, like they nailed. Colors. And this is just to sell jerseys, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they could go with like the classic.
They can't use the Hockey Canada logo.
No, but I mean like the ones that they use at the last Olympics or at the World Juniors or like
or the 2010 Olympics.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that looked really, really nice. These ones just missed the mark. And so a lot of people were chirping Canada as like, wow, these are terrible.
But,
and then the States came
one more before the Canada, just on the whole combo, like the black pants and the gloves. Like I know Canada's always doing that, but just it looks off on the white jersey.
Yeah. It looks weird. I mean, they could just the 3, because that's the thing is I find if you are a team that has like the Red Wings, red and white. We've talked about that. People want a black jersey. No, it looks stupid. Don't do that. It'll look like a Walmart jersey, and it's going to look stupid. So don't do it.
No. Detroit, they have so many other jerseys that they can go with just the red and white. Like the Winter Classic jerseys, the Stadium Series jersey, the Barber Pole one. Like it's
Centennial Classic.
No,
like
the fucking what
was it?
Reverse retro.
Retro was terrible.
That was disgusting, but
they just didn't want to do it.
Detroit just has like
you got the United States ones up because USA has some usually have a cool jersey. This one looks really.
They look
bad.
like soccer jerseys.
Yeah, like let's see. Show it up to the people here.
The great graphics.
Those ones missed the mark as well. I mean, they're just as bad as the Canada ones, in my opinion.
I think they're worse.
Well, just because
a lot worse.
I think they're both pretty bad.
They're both bad, but this one is
the colors are off. The blue looks weird. The
so
red
the
looks
U.S.
weird.
like the blue jersey, the away jersey, I guess you could say, or is that the third? I don't know which one's what. I think that's the third jersey, the lighter blue.
The light blue looks weird.
Yes, especially with the dark blue in there. There's no red on that jersey.
Yeah, whenever you look at like a lot of like the World Junior jerseys, those are the ones. Just use those. This is all a marketing thing to sell more jerseys. But guess what? I ain't buying that.
They're all disgusting. Like
they're not good.
You look at like, okay, now like some of these, like the 2002 great jersey. Can't use that logo anymore though. 06, every Nike jersey.
2010 had nice ones. Yep. You know, like these. The
Sochi
2014
ones,
Sochis are nice.
2018, like everyone had that design, but
the Pyeongchang ones were kind of crappy. But yeah, so I don't like either of those. But I mean, the Sweden ones look nice. I mean, I'm sure that the other ones are going to be fine too. Also, isn't it Lululemon making the jerseys?
No, it's Nike. Lululemon is Canada's like
it's
walk-in
not,
apparel instead of like, you know how it's always been the Bay or whatnot.
Right. Okay.
It's Lululemon.
I was like, are they making the jerseys?
And have you seen like the Leafs ripped on Tavares for modeling the coat and stuff?
Oh God.
Well, let me just pull that up.
Pull that up because I have no idea what you're talking about. Tavares has been actually pretty good this year. I was actually kind of surprised that he's kind of
Tavares
picked it up.
Lulu.
I still don't think he should be on Canada, but that's just me. He might make it. We'll see. Just because he's a veteran guy. Oh my God. Wait a minute. He looks like Katniss from the Hunger Games. You show that.
So Team Canada, they're going to Lululemon
He's
this
going
year.
On Hunger Games.
And that's Johnny T.
District 7. Oh my
what an
God.
absolute
Yeah, oh yeah, he's
stud.
getting ripped in the room for sure. He got paid $1
Like,
billion to do
Look
that
at this
too.
fucking man fanny pack on him.
That's kind of a weird spot for a fanny pack.
We're
Yeah.
fucking
Okay, pull up the last jersey we're gonna talk about.
which
Yeah, this is the worst one I've ever seen. It's pretty bad. New Jersey Devils. These are actually Marty Brodeur.
I don't
Who's
know.
the one that apparently designed these.
Marty Brodeur.
I guess he hates New Jersey.
Imagine what he would do for St. Louis.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. If the whole kit put together looks a little better, the jersey itself, brutal.
The whole kit together is just black.
I know, but it's cool. Hey, listen.
Black gloves, black
pull
pants.
this up. You can show that, Nico.
I've seen the whole kit
well,
together there.
Throw it up there. It literally just says I know. It literally just says jersey on it.
And there's been the memes on there, like of them just gonna have merch that says hat and pants.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'll say. What if they put this logo on that black and white jersey?
That would look nice.
It's just a straight black and white New Jersey logo.
Do an outline on the logo in red.
Yeah. So the whole thing that the whole script. Now the thing people are like, why does it just say Jersey? Well, that's because people in New Jersey, they call the town Jersey. It's Jersey, right? So you ever heard of Jersey Shore?
Oh yeah,
bud. So I just think those are bad, and I don't know how that gets through a whole bunch of people that look at it and go like why don't they ask fans, hey, what do you think about this? Because like people are gonna go, that looks stupid.
They could have done script that says Devils instead, and that would have been a lot better.
I agree.
I
agree, but it's been done. It's odd.
No, and it looks like Chicago's. Like
if you're gonna do anything
from the Chicago, it their first or second?
If you're gonna do anything, do something devil-ish, I guess. I don't know. Like you'd have to change your whole logo scheme, which I bet you they didn't want to do. But at the same time, if you're just gonna want to do like a black and white jersey or something, just change your logo.
For the longest time, I've wanted to see the Devils in a black jersey. Like they've done the or the retro jersey with the green and all that.
Yeah.
They've done the white with the green and the red with the green, but
maybe it's the same idea as the Red Wings, where it's like kind of, why would you do that? Like their pants
if you do a script that said Devils on there,
it'd be better.
No,
I still wouldn't
absolutely better.
I don't think
it'd be a top jersey, but it's a lot better than just saying jersey, because now you're gonna get they're gonna sell.
You know what it looks like?
It's perfect for marketing, because you're gonna have sweatshirts with that same font.
Yeah,
sweater,
and Abercrombie and Fitch and freaking American Eagle. That's how you get them. It says like Wisconsin.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
it's
a Stephen Barry.
That's basically what it is. So yeah, I just think like those ones. There's something going on with marketing right now where I just like
I don't understand a bunch of these teams, and
it's really bizarre, because like there's some where they nail it, and then some like this where it's like how
Arizona nailed it going back to the Kachina.
Yeah,
but then you got Jersey. You know what, Marty Brodeur, you're not a designer.
That's why I'm like, why did they let him do it? You know what I mean?
It's the first time that I've noticed in the NHL they've had a player help design. Like I know it's happened in the NBA. Like Kobe helped design a couple of the Lakers jerseys, and Shaq did, and whatnot. But Marty's taking too many pucks to the head.
Or he's like, I was in St. Louis. They let me go. Screw them. I'm getting him a shit jersey and say it's good.
They gave me an office job in St. Louis.
Exactly. So yeah, anything else you want to talk about? Because I feel like that's got to get all that stuff off my chest. I think going forward, things have been a little bit different. I mean, again, I got the whole new setup in the basement at the Bushy household. Bobo's married now and trying to get used to coexisting, right?
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's I think it's
new carpets.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Got a new bed frame coming in soon, and
so my wife's got the baby shower like literally right now.
Yeah,
so
right.
This is what we're doing in the meantime.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Things are changing, but it's all good.
It's about time. Like we wanted to it's just finding the time to do this, right? And that's where the nice thing is. Like we said, time after time. It's not a job.
Ain't a job. It's just for fun.
Just here for the beer.
Anyway, if you guys want to follow us, check us out on Facebook and on Twitter and on YouTube and healthyscratch.ca. Till next time, from Bushy's couch.
Yeah, Bushy's couch.
Bushy and Bobo show. We'll see you guys next time.
Adios.